You are not a Jedi, not truly, and it is because of that I love you. This was one of the final words Kreia said to the Jedi Exile after her final training in KOTOR 2. And thereafter, the Exile would go on to rebuild the Jedi Order after it had been virtually destroyed during the first Jedi Purge. Which is kind of ironic, isn't it? Someone who chose to give up all that power, walk a life cut off from the Force, away from the galaxy, only to return and take up a vital role in galactic history. That's what we're going to look into today. The first thing the general audience would normally associate the Jedi with are Force abilities like telekinesis and the lightsaber. But we know that there's more to it than that. When a child is found to be a Force sensitive, they will be inducted into the Jedi Order as younglings. From then on, their allegiance is to the way of the Force, learning to connect with it, to master their inner emotions and thoughts. Those who catch the attention of a master will begin their journey as a Padawan, and after they pass their trials, they will become a Jedi Knight, before becoming a master after successfully raising and training a few generations of Jedi Knights on their own. That is, of course, a rather standardized pathway to follow that is simply written on paper. There are some exceptions to how progress is evaluated, of course. Obi-Wan was given the rank of Jedi Knight without passing his trials because he defeated Darth Maul on Naboo. On average, a Jedi has at least a couple decades of service to the Order in his belt. He may have at least some experience in the field, be it honing his skills with the lightsaber, building up his diplomatic circle, or his survival instincts. This is the formula that has been proven time after time over hundreds of years to produce some of the best of what the galaxy has to offer, protectors of the Republic and keepers of the peace. But even then, we know their limitations. A strict bureaucracy, blind obedience to the council, and even a place where promotion is solely given based on one's ability to conform and comply rather than innovation, such as Mace getting into the council rather than Dooku. The best Jedi are oftentimes those who are far away from the Order. For instance, Qui-Gon Jinn, a maverick on his own. Luke Skywalker, born into a time where the galaxy knew no Jedi and he had to learn everything from the ground up. Ahsoka Tano, free from the Jedi, living much of her life in exile throughout much of the Imperial era. Those who have travelled rather unconventional pathways and do not conform to the way of the Jedi just so happen to be better equipped and experienced. And in terms of the story, they somehow just end up getting entrusted with greater responsibilities and contributions to the fate of the galaxy. Just why is that? Well, to put it simply, they knew the Force better than most, because they were free from external influences. While going at it alone may be quite the danger, as we have seen characters like Exar Kun, who were eager learners and sought greater knowledge, only to fall to the dark side and bring war and pain to the galaxy. Not being aligned with the Jedi Order also means that you aren't indoctrinated from a young age to think a certain way by the people around you, but rather, these Jedi are guided by the Force itself. It enables them to truly conform to the will of the Force, to connect with it. And that makes Force users who are not Jedi nor Sith more intriguing because they do not have centuries of heritage or some strict code to follow, but being free from these actually makes it a lot easier for them to see the Force as it is. Qui-Gon Jinn has his many disagreements with the Jedi, especially with regards to the Chosen One prophecy. The Jedi Exiles spent a decade shunned by those who trained her, yet she began rebuilding it afterward. Given these difficult experiences, it would be easier to just go off the radar and live their own lives. Why then do they still count themselves as Jedi? This question reminds me of a scene with Luke Skywalker we had in the story mode of Battlefront 2 2017. After teaming up with Dale, he asked Luke Skywalker if he should choose to leave the Empire and join the rebellion instead.
What else is there?
A choice?
The rebellion?
No. A choice to be better.
It was never an allegiance to a political body, but simply to change who he was and the choices he made. I believe the same applies here. To be a Jedi was never simply membership in the Order, and so when they made the decision to continue on that path, it was their way of contributing to the greater galaxy. That's what makes them the best Jedi, because it was their choices and who they are to choose what they want to be and ultimately serve their goals. That, my friends, is what makes them a true Jedi. Not merely a title, but their embodiment of it. And let's be real here, it'll be hard to imagine Star Wars without the Jedi, or any connection to the Jedi at all, much like the Sith. Except for stuff like Rogue One and Endor, but that's the exception. Remember those days when they hyped up Snoke as someone who is not a Sith? Well, they had to Uno reverse that decision. Whether that decision to shoehorn the character back into the way of a Jedi is good or not is another thing, however. Barry Sophie in the recent Tales of the Empire is actually a good example of this, but others such as Ahsoka in her live-action cell, that felt a bit off, but that's just my own personal opinion. And that's it for today. Let me know what other topics we should cover. But until next time, may the Force be with you.